Video game, flash, fiction. This is a 90-minute game starting right now. A game where I roll 2 dice, select one of these games, play the game, create an original story, read the story at the end, and laugh about it hopefully or enjoy it. Let's pick the game. There's 6 columns. I got a 6-sided dice. 1 to 6. I'll roll this. Oh, hasn't happened before. It's 2. Second column here, we have 10 rows, top to bottom. 1 to 10. 10-sided dice. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Label's a little messed. I think that's Qbert. It is Qbert. Well, let's see if it works. These have been tested. I don't know. Doesn't feel. There we go. Huh. Whoa there. Well, shocking. Whoa there. Hold on. We've still got time going. I might have to roll again. I'm not started. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I remember this one sort of not working, but it worked kind of. I was using not the light sixer. Yeah, I think it's junk. Well, it's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. Game's out of commission. Well, let's roll from the same row. Now let's just roll completely again. We got time. Let's actually roll the dice and not just drop it. 6. This one right here. 1 to 10. 1. Well, let's dig for it. What is this one? This one's called Squeeze Box. Okay. Huh. Squeeze Box. I'm not sure. Well, I know. Well, it still holds true. These have been tested. This one's probably more likely to work. It's a little cleaner. Squeeze Box. Oh no. Is this the day the Atari 2600 dies? This can't be. Whoa, is that the story for today? Which one? This one right here. No. Well, that works. Let's go try this one again. This is the debugging the Atari 2600. What's wrong here? Now I want to go back and try. Hold on. I gotta try the Qbert again. This is gonna be madness, and I'm wasting time. But oh yeah, no, that's just shanked. There's no. I don't know what's going on there. Let's try it one more time. Yeah. All right, so Qbert's out. Second choice was this one called Squeeze Box. Squeeze Box doesn't work. Just kind of did. There we go, squeeze box. I really want that. Yeah, that's gonna be maddening. There we go. Let's turn it down just a little bit. Well, that's what happens when you're trying to play a game with with technology that's a little bit used. Maybe much like myself. Forgive the unalignment of the screen today. It was not behaving as much as I want to have it actually behave like it was an ad agency. And we have something called Squeeze Box. Okay, game 1. Hopefully the joystick is what I use. If not, I'll have to be using more time to configure the game itself. Yes, I feel... No. Oh, wow. This is so loud and obnoxious. There we go. Okay, this is, I don't know. Like, how do I shoot the ones that are coming up my head? Oh, this is... Okay, so I press the button, it resets. Oh, you can go at angles. Oh. How do I shoot down, though? What if I go down here to start? I was shooting at an angle once, and that was perfect. Oh, if I don't do anything, it shoots at an angle. How do I shoot down? Why won't you shoot down? I'm just... Wow, this is crazy. It's like, there we go. Shoot that back. This is, yeah. You have a gun. Is this like some sort of sport? Like, I'm not... Wow, Squeeze Box. This is the name of the game. Squeeze Box. Okay. You're wearing some sort of striped suit. And you have to shoot the walls so they don't squish you. Ah, wow. I can make this sort of like dystopian nightmare, like it seems sort of to be. Or maybe let's try to make it a sporting game, something that's kind of fun. I mean, you know, I live in a gun culture. It wouldn't be unheard of, like, having this type of game exist and considered a sport called Squeeze Box. I don't know why it'd be called Squeeze Box. I mean, I understand that I'm in a box right now, and I guess I'm being... Yeah, like, how do I shoot angles? Like... Whoa, and I go to hell. Is that the devil? Like, what is... This is... I mean, it'd be really easy to go, like, dystopian. I mean, let's put that down for right now. Let's watch Satan dance with some brimstone and fire. That would be what I get from there. If this was a Dungeons and Dragons based game, which it's not, I think it would be like a red dragon maybe blowing fire. But it's not. I think because of the theme of the Squeeze Box, they look like you're supposed to be a person in gel. You shoot the walls. And you try not to be squoze, but yeah. Like, I've got to make it a game. Because I don't want to go like a game within a game. That's kind of boring though. The dystopian would be really easy because it's all there. You're never running out of bullets, but you're also never really truly going to be done shooting. And you're never really going to be able to survive it. It's just a matter of time. Squeeze box. Yeah. Probably what squeeze box meant then means different to me now. Like I think of a juice box. I don't think back in the 80s, 70s. I don't know when this was created. I suppose they had, oh man, I don't know, squeeze boxes then too. Let's just go ahead and write a story. I'm trying to think, like, should I roll a dice to see if I go dystopian today? I mean, the dystopian one would be like, if you're a criminal, you shoot your way out. So you're almost like rooting for the criminal to survive, but then they go to hell at the end. And so if this was a sport, that could be like a mascot or the ref or something. And it could represent the devil, sure. Like, I got no problem with that. And that's what I would still attach it to. Because why would it be the devil in this game? And what is the game? Like, people like to shoot things. And so they actually have to shoot these objects to get pushed back. And I guess that's what's really I'm seeing. Like, I'm going to pretend. Because even after the fact, like, you realize, like, at the end, when your character in this game finally gets squished, it reveals that there's just a big long tubes or walls or slices, I guess. So, like, the game's going to start game within a game. I hate kind of doing it. It feels cheap. I've done this before with games that weren't based upon games. What was the one? Pick and Pile. What was that? I can't remember that game. I remember the game. I'm editing it now. All right. Is this going to be a sport? Let's go sport. I don't want to go dystopia today. There's too much of that going around anyway. I don't need to create more of it. At least right now. Let's later in the day become more jaded. Later in the process. Okay, so this is going to be a game. My automatic thinking right now is that what's the voice of this game? A lot of the times, at least when I've done some of these, I think Bump and Jump was the first one. And some of the other stories is just putting in sort of the voice of a broadcaster narrating the game and is showing how it goes along. I think that's where I might want to go with this, because this is a squeeze box, but it's like a shooting game. And most of the voices I've done with far as narrating, having like an announcer, narrator, commentator, and have that be the voice of the story. I don't know if I want to go that route with squeeze box. I want to do the whole event. Maybe the person getting into the box. Maybe the box itself. Because it's going to be a shooting game. They shoot. And until there's going to have to be something bad. Does there have to be? Why does there have to be something bad? You just lose. But is there a moral lesson here? Am I going for that today? I don't know. Let's go for that. Let's go from the squeeze box. And let's see how that actually writes out. Okay, so let me think of the other types of ways I've done sporty type things, especially ones with shooting, so I don't write them over again. I did. What was in this book here? That was a gunslinger. I think I actually did gunslinger that way, where you sort of take the final day of events and you're not a commentator, but you sort of summarize what goes down in like the finale, so you get this understanding of the complete sport. I think I want to take this from the perspective of like the person doing it. I don't know if I've done that yet. It's like trained. Do I want to go from them point of training or their thought process as they're like waiting for their match? And the match would just be, I'm going to play this again here in a moment. I think just the shooting. Although I'm really digging the screensaver end screen there. That's kind of fun. And this is going to be maybe the person's community is religious and they like guns. It's not unheard of. It could be the government fighting to take it away. I can have a little bit of fun. I could do political satire with it. That could be fun. And just have it like the moments before the match, possibly. Maybe not even have the match. Maybe not even do it. That wouldn't be going toward actually trying to do the game itself. And that's one of the constraints I kind of like to try to stick with if I can. Make sure there's the mechanics of the games because that's what inspires it. But if I use the mechanics of the game to be able to start building up his I'm going to start thinking of this person as more than just a plain human. 1, 2 male, 3, 4 female, 5, 6. We'll just go gender neutral. Could be anything. We'll let the reader decide too. It's going to be definitely gendered male. With that roll of a 2, so he, through his story, just being able to show and tell the game of how they trained, and maybe that's just it. Maybe you don't know, because it's the squeeze box and how he built this squeeze box. And maybe that's, and this could be like before, who did the most training? And then everyone has their own squeeze box. It could be about building your own squeeze box, because they got to train somehow. How are you going to train? It wouldn't be, I guess, mechanically, if you're mechanically inclined. And maybe that's the story of how they built the squeeze box with their mom. And she taught him how to shoot and play the game squeeze box. And this is just about the squeeze box and them building their own personal squeeze box. Now, I want to set it around before a match, maybe. But not even talk about the final match like I have kind of done during the past. Just focus on the box itself and what it would take to be able to create one of those to train. But it would really, I guess, start with shooting. Like, you're not going to build your squeeze box because you think you're a good shooter. You're going to build your squeeze box after you know you're a good shooter and invest the time and money to be able to elevate your shooting skills. I still want to play. Let's play this real quick. Let's see if that kind of works out. Let's imagine. So it's a son. It's a mother teaching a son. We sort of have at least that as a vague outline. Let me go ahead and type. Okay, so I got that. I'm me go ahead and look at this screen right here so I can play this game again. Let's play some squeeze box. Maybe. Oh, does it go complete? Oh, there we go. Okay. Like I don't get like I don't how was I shooting at angles? Like okay, so if I shoot, see, this is not a proper squeeze box. Like I can't shoot down. Maybe that's the problem with what's this kid's name? Whoa, I mean obviously this kid's got a big beard in this rendition. Maybe it's like I mean I gotta have some political meaning behind this. See, just walls, so they can build their own squeeze box. Maybe this is a representation of when they used to go play in their pajamas. I can include it into sort of like the game itself. Maybe everybody has to wear the gray beard to represent big government taking you down and making you like a prisoner. And you have to shoot your way out to the never-ending wall. Whoever gets the most points moves on. You know you're always going to get squeeze boxed. It's like a slang. I think that's where it's going to be. Like you got squeeze boxed. See, but I can't shoot at the angle I want to right now. I want to shoot down. Like the only way I can shoot here is if I get my feet right here, and I can kind of shoot this one back, but I shoot right over it. Like that's. I bet I have to paddle it. I bet it's paddle. It's gotta be. Because this is just insane. Let me see. Maybe I got the wrong. That'd be funny. No. I'm lost. Supposedly, I'm using the joystick like it recommends. Yeah, instructions. I don't know if I even have the instructions for this game. Maybe. I'm still alive. Let's explain away this suit here. And let's get writing, because there's only, I mean, logically, there's only about an hour left. An hour and 8 minutes, rather. A little bit of a tragedy with the Q-Bert that didn't work. If that's the worst thing that happens in my day, then it's going to be probably be a pretty good day. Or at least an okay day. I still got to get another Q-Bert and, well, processes outside this story. Okay, so mother teaches the son how to shoot. This is the squeeze box, the uniforms. So let's build it up. Let's do the event that convinces them to start to build the squeeze box. That way we can sort of start to create this journey on why they're doing it. And so the completed of the squeeze box sort of is the story. And it's not I'm trying to say the words, and I think they're coming out of my mouth in some way to help me actually build the story. So mother teaches the son to shoot and build the squeeze box. Let's just leave that as a note, and we're going to have this like a name. I rolled a 2, so the child's male name, Dustin. It's obviously a pistol. Dustin is, I think, is going to win the junior national pistol shooting. They have to be a certain age to do this, and then like the building of it. Over dinner that night. Mother name. Mother, it was a mother. The parent is going to be female mother. Uh, with a name. Female. She is also a mother. Whose name is, do they have a father? Maybe they do. They're just sort of like the person that just checked in. Yeah. Over that night's dinner, that night's. They're gonna go out to eat. Man, you just won the junior national pistol. Piddle. Pistol. There we go. Thank you. The pistol shooting national pistol shooter. Let's make it proper. The junior national. Let's make it caps. I gotta make this like important. It's like a thing. And to make a thing. Gotta show its importance also by having them go out to eat afterwards because they gotta do something fancy. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I always enjoyed those things, right? The simple things in life that once can appreciate. Rather, one can appreciate, but one can also once appreciate them too. Dustin won the junior national pistol shooter. Games, I guess. And placed second in long range rifle shot. Open bracket long range rifle shot. Over that night's victory dinner at Beefsteak Potato. I like that name. I hope I spelled potato right, but who knows? Potato. What do they? I mean, beefsteak potato diner. Should I throw that out there? Beefsteak potato diner. A victory dinner at beefsteak potato diner. What was the name? I had a name for the mother. The mother was, I don't know. Gertrude. No, I think I've actually used that before. Sooner rather than later. Kill. Betty. Bod. Vaughn. Van. No. Vicky. Sure, Vicky. Dustin and Vicky. So Vicky's the mom. Vicky, while stabbing, while pointing, while we should build you a squeeze box. You build us a squeeze box. I mean, maybe go pro. Teach you how to shoot. Maybe get you to go pro. What was last year's squeeze box champion? Would be something different. It'd be like squeeze box shooter. It's not what I imagined for the game. For some reason, I had the idea of like an actual like juice box that you squeeze, and not necessarily that, which is haunting. I can't even shoot. I mean, is that an aspect of the story I really need to include into it? It's part of the mechanics, I suppose. Let's go ahead and see if I can finish this live real quick. All right, so now squeeze box goes. Like, why aren't you hitting the angle? Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm not even getting that angle shot anymore. It says joystick. It seems so unfair. I'm going to get squished just because of the angle of the shot. Is that just like Hard Knock Life? You just die sooner. And there's the devil chasing you. It's the devil's chasing you all the time. That's the greater meaning behind the squeeze box. Life is a squeeze box. Maybe that's like the slang that they kick around. Life is a squeeze box. Life is a squeeze box. The devil's gonna get you. I don't know what the hell that would even mean. I don't want it to mean anything. But that's the whole. Yeah. And that would be like quoting their favorite squeeze box shooter. Yes. I love it. That's fun. I mean, I would actually, if it was safe, if it were like, like somehow this squeeze box would absorb the bullets and not like ricochet and kill yourself, I'd play it. I'd absolutely play the squeeze box game where you shot the walls to shoot them back. But I mean, being able to do that and not have ricochet, or like a jam because some bullet gets wedged in one of the moving parts, be a pretty impressive mechanical feat, and probably honestly would get a big fan base. It'd be very expensive though. Bullets are not cheap. Anyway, let's talk about this story because I only got 58 minutes left. I think it's a good idea. I like where it's going. Life is a squeeze box. Last squeeze box champion. That is true. All right. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and we're going to have, I got to think of a champion's name now. So they're able to go into the squeeze box. They got to build the squeeze box, and that's the entire part of the story. But we need to like build it up as it's like a thing. So the mom says we should build us a squeeze box, teach you how to shoot, maybe get you go pro. Last squeeze box champions got sponsors for life. Bullets are expensive. Life is a squeeze box because the devil's going to get you. Okay, so that's going to be like a quote of one of their favorite squeeze box champions. And then Dustin, we'll have Dustin say that out loud just to show how much Dustin loves the squeeze box too. Shoot. So Dustin smiles while chewing some steak and talking and quoting his favorite squeeze box shooter. How do you spell? I don't care. Favorite, sure. Favorite squeeze box shooter. Vance Lee. There we are. Okay, so now we've added a little bit more dimension to this idea of what squeeze box the sport looks like. Life squeeze box, the devil's gonna get you. That's right. And what's the mother's name again? It was Vicky Choose. Okay, because I got to call out the costume because that's awkward. I mean, not necessarily awkward, but it's just it doesn't look like street clothes. All right, so here's the devil at the end. Let's go ahead and do some more shooting. All right, so we have squeeze box. I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's just striped clothes, red and white striped. I guess bodysuit. Maybe it's like so if it does ricochet, maybe you have to wear at the kid's age, at like when you're doing junior level squeeze box playing. They make you wear a bodysuit that's kind of bulletproof in case you shoot yourself. Green shoes. Maybe there's a little bit. Someone invented Crocs and took them back in time, put them on this person's feet. Like, why can't I go angled? That's not cool. Like the man's coming after you no matter what. The devil's always chasing you. All right, so we can ride that. I'm gonna be saying that in real life now and be thinking of squeeze box the game. Life is a squeeze box because the devil's gonna get you. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna leave it that way. That's right, Vicky Choose. We'll build it and get you that costume. So 3 paragraphs. So it's all the point is trying to build this thing. I want to give at least a little bit about the extra. I got to call out I got to work in the devil somehow. There's got to be a game of it. So if I were, what's going to happen though? What's the resolution? They win it? Is this we're following the winner's path? Or we following the hard knock life path and they get shot? They shoot themselves in the foot, like you'll shoot your eye out. From Christmas Story, but this is with a 22. Let's say 22s. I mean, that's not a strong bullet, so your impact, but it'd be cheaper. It's paying like, and then also it's just you can wrap it. You probably, yeah. I mean, and it's junior division, so we gotta make sure we, yeah. So let's get all the materials in one paragraph. The following week. I think Vicky's gonna mortgage the house. Vicky mortgaged. Oh man, mortgage. Don't let mortgage. I can't think of this word, but I'm just gonna go like The house with the bank. Mortgage the house. Mortgage. Like, I mean, I've taken out mortgages before. I can't think of the word. Let's move on. So the following week, Ricky mortgaged the house. To take out a loan to buy an official bulletproof red and white striped. I don't know, this is loading it up. Bulletproof vest, bulletproof bodysuit. That's right, because it bodysuit as required by the. There's got to be like some officiating committee, right? There was always the junior, the pro pistol shooter association. Pro pistol shooter association. That's just such a weird concept for a game, like a different version of Breakout. You're just gonna lose though. There's no way. Pistol. I don't know how to spell pistol today. That's fine. Shooter. It wouldn't be the National Shooter Association, the Pro Shooter Association. Got to include all shooting, not just pistols. The Pro Shooter Committee, Council, Committee. Required by the Pro Shooter Committee for any junior shooting events. The gray, I don't know what that is yet. So they have, what about the gun? They bought a fast loading 22. And I suppose like you could bring whatever you wanted, but when you're at the junior level, they want to just have all of the kids use the same 22. It's cheap. But then you'd get up in the higher levels, the non-junior levels, and be like, if you're into baseball, when you get into baseball, there's the idea of like the super bat or the good bat or the bat you like, and they're usually expensive, no matter which one you like. In this case, everyone just has to start out with the 22. Once they go pro, you can use whatever gun you want, but you have cost, you have efficiency. But I would say like the standard pressure is a 22 shot. They built the rails, like they got these rails, sort of rails that would recoil. They built the rails that would recoil, given with the force of a 22 of a shot, of a 22 bullet. Okay, the standard, and I gotta like the PSC. The PSC, and let's put that acronym here. And maybe I'll have to call out the Pro Shooter Committee's name one more other time, so it'd be PSC. They built the rails that would recoil. They built a sliding wall. They built this matters. I want to get this at least straight. The standard, and I'll probably just repeat. Let me just do this right here. Standard. Only caliber. Allowed for junior shooting events. Because naturally you want to be able to protect. And have that gun, flip out, maybe shoot yourself. It happens. Especially with automatic hand guns. They build a fast loading 22 pro shooting committee. They build your own, man. Well, let's just say buy though. They buy a fast loading 22. Under the spec, semi-auto. They buy a fast semi-loading semi-automatic 22. So you just don't have to cock. It just shoots. They buy a clip loading. But then you don't want it to jam. That's one thing. Like, I would imagine if I was part of the pro squeeze box shooting committee and makes more sense. Like the revolver, you could still side load it with a different tumbler. And then this way, there's some sort of like act to it. With a clip loaded, then you have more moving parts. It's more likely to jam. But these are supposed like a professional shooting kid. So they went clip loaded. But this is also a junior event, and this is the junior event that they're gonna be trying to win. What's gonna happen? I got 44 minutes. I'm getting caught up too much on like specifics too much. A clip loading, semi-automatic 22, and then the pro shooter committee approved. The only caliber for junior. For junior level competition. Yeah. That's not bad. So Vicky mortgaged the house to take out a loan. The majority of the loan paid for the squeeze box training arena. I mean, it's an arena, I guess. The squeeze box for the at-home squeeze box. Who doesn't want their at-home squeeze box? Got to train. Competition's just right around the corner. What's going on with the game here? Devil's still chasing me? Probably not. Uh-oh. Let's do this. There we go. Let's get a little action in our lives. Distraction. I probably don't need it. Let's just watch him get squoze. All right, so the following week, Vicky mortgaged the house, and they built a squeeze box. Okay. They converted. They emptied the garage. They parked the cars on the driveway. And emptied and moved the tools and storage boxes to the crawl space. They moved the tools to the deck out back. Do they build maybe they get a tough shed. Maybe that's better. They get like one of those tough sheds, and I can probably write up a construction of, if I can just imagine it real quick, what that would look like. So they don't have to do all this parking of the cars. They bought a tough shed. They bought I don't want to like give a shout out to some sort of trademark name. A shed. They just built a shed. They built a shed out back. Big enough for a car and for the squeeze boxes sliding. Because now I got to describe this game. Because no one, I've got it in my mind, but I want someone to be able to read this and be understanding at least basic mechanics of this game. Squeeze box. How are we going to build a squeeze box? Said, who's got doubt? Dustin. Dustin has doubt. But Vicky's got a plan. Vicky rolls out the blueprints, the schematics for the squeeze box. I'm going to do it in Vicky's voice. Her finger leads her conversation. Her finger draws over the... I'm going to use some simile here. So something like of the rectangle room. And the how many walls? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 6 and the 12. And the pairs of 6 sliding man, that's a hard one. Vicky rolls out the schematics for a squeeze box. Her finger draws the lines over the rectangle room and the pairs of 6 sliding walls that slide that we have walls on the sides. Oh man, this is 39 minutes left. This is the thing to describe. This is what matters. Everything else can be pushed, I think, and get out. Vicky rolls out the schematics for a squeeze box. Her finger draws the rectangles over the rectangle room and the pairs of the six sliding walls. I'm going to call them like these are the crush walls. The 12 crush walls. The rollers I got and the pumps and the hydraulics. Oh, I like the accordion there. There was a suggestion here in the chat. I think that's sort of a good vision. Other than that, it'd be like piano keys hitting. The rollers I got and the hydraulics push these pairs of 6 walls. What's the... Yeah, I mean, that's... I'm having a difficult time finding the right words here. Vicky rolls out the schematics for a squeeze box. Her finger draws over the rectangle room and the pairs of the 6 sliding walls. These are the 12 walls. The rollers I got, the hydraulics will push the pairs of 6 at different times. Until they close, until the 6 pairs slide in and connect. What's a good visual, good simile for it? accordion though, but this has got to be like there's no object I can breadboard. No. Slots. They built a squeeze box. Maybe the whole point of this is trying to understand what the hell the squeeze box look of. And that's sort of like it starts out with this vague definition, and now we can repeat it right now. Because it's all about sort of the bonding, the building of the squeeze box anyway. So I got to get this down. They built a shed out back big enough for a car. Big enough for a car and long enough for squeeze box. And long enough for the squeeze box walls. The bulletproof. Squeeze box walls. To slide from opposing sides. And connect. And squeeze. The 6 walls. All right, so that's that. They did something. They built the rails that would recoil the sliding wall with the force of a 22 bullet. Bullet shot according to PCSC, according to PSC standards. So let's at least build this up a little bit. I'm still don't think I've visually defined anything to show this squeeze box and what it looks like. It's certainly something that at this point I'm failing on a little bit. I got 33 minutes left. I want to try to sort of get to where this is going to go to end. I don't know. Like, what is, they build it during the winter. I could do seasons to show time. They built a shed out back big enough for a car and long enough for the bulletproof squeeze box walls to slide from opposing sides and squeeze what's between. Now I see those walls more like your classic wall, trap wall. Squeeze box walls to slide vertically, like slide along, to slide. It's just not connecting. They built a shed out back big enough for a car and long enough. I gotta get this right here on this description. So let's spend a little bit of time on this. And long enough for a bulletproof squeeze box wall to slide its length, squeeze box walls. Slides like rubbing boards. They built a long enough for the bulletproof squeeze box sideways walls to slide against each other. That's a sentence. Just they built a shed out back big enough for a wall and long enough for squeeze box walls. Okay. Let's define the squeeze box walls. The squeeze box walls, again. This is going to be the challenge of the story, is defining what the hell a squeeze box looks like. Squeeze box walls. Slide. Squeeze box walls slide sideways. Sideways, lengthwise. This would be the width. Sharing, creating a wall along with its width, and other and the widths. Walls. 12 sliding walls. Slide at the same time. Just pushing words. At different times. The opposing squeeze box walls, 12 sliding walls slide at different times. I don't know if I understand it. I think I'm going to make that comment. But I want to make sure the rails recoil. Each wall will recoil. Each sliding wall recoils when shot with the force of a .22 shot. Away from the shooter in the center. When shot with the force of a .22 bullet, according to PCS standards. Let's throw in that accordion. Long enough and built for squeeze box. Oh man, it's like I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. I gotta move on. I got 26 minutes left. I can get back to this. So Dustin shrugged, kind of. Dustin's done sort of how it works, I think. Dustin stood in the center. Dressed in the bulletproof bodysuit. We'll move this along. Stood in the center, stood in the center of the squeeze box. Dressed in the bulletproof bodysuit. Wearing a belt of clips. Of loaded clips. To shoot at the sliding sectional walls. Trying to squeeze them. By spring, we'll say by spring, during the winter. Let's do seasons here. During the winter. They're pretty hardcore. They built a shed during the winter. They need to get this done. It's go time. Rest is for the lazy. Squeeze box. I don't know if I've described that well enough for something. Maybe, but I got to go with it. I can't stay on it too long because it's 24 minutes left here. What's the resolution? The resolution, we started off with him just trying to build this thing, and that's kind of what it was about. The 6 walls. The 6 sections slide at Dustin from the front and back as Dustin shoots the walls. Shot hits. The wall slides back. The section slides back. Then starts to slide at Dustin again. Back to front. The 2 sides slide in sections nearing Dustin. They press. Dustin fires. Drops a clip. Yes, I think drops a clip. Dustin fires, drops a clip, and the walls squeeze. You dropped a clip. Said Vicky. Load faster. What's that quote I had? Was like something about the devil. Was what's the famous line for Vance Lee? Life is a squeeze box because the devil's gonna get you. I'm going to copy that word for word right here just so I can do it quickly. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste that down here. Well, if I have, he's not emptying them out, so he's popping the tumbler. He's putting the tumbler in. He's fast loading it, so it wouldn't necessarily have a lot of shells to pick up. I was going to have them pick up shells, Dustin pick up shells, but doesn't need to do that. I guess he could be like inspecting something or going some to the route of like, you dropped the clip. Okay, so you dropped the tumbler. It's not. Do I have it clip loaded though? Right. So if it's clip loaded, then it wouldn't be in it. Did I do tumbler or clip? I don't want to. I got it. This is like part of the pistol. 6 pairs. Let's see. Clip loading. So it's clip loaded. So there would be shells. So they're going to pick up shells. I like that. I like that because they're going to have to be. They're going to do something while they're loading them. Drops the clip and just the wall squeeze. Dustin says, Vicky says, only if you drop the clip. Dustin only nods and picks up bullets. Up to casings? Casings, is it? Picks up the casings. While they reload. Or shells. Shells or casing, I have no idea. So they're reloading the casings, and while they're reloading the casings, I got to try to set this up for conclusion. So we want to pick up the casings after they fire. And so while they're reloading the casings, they want to be able to have the conversation about the competition that's coming. And then that's going to conclude it. Whether they win or lose it, it doesn't matter. Maybe. I think they're going to lose it. They're going to come in last. Because they come in first, the inspiration. They won the junior pistol shooter. They get inspired to go to the next level. And then they lose their first time at Squeeze Box. So the process would be then that they want to be able to have that conversation about being ready. And load stuff back into the casings. And then being able to talk it through. And then they can proceed and talk it through. And then once they're done talking it through, that's where I need to have them set up, because we're still at a time limit. And it's hard to take all the edits in, at least on this go through. And so that where they reload it, then they're going to have to actually process and talk through it as a background process. I think in the general sense, the hope is that it's just like while they reload the casings, and people usually connect it. Because most of the slang that I grew up around was actually they just said, let's reload the casings, without having to get very specific in the lingo. And maybe get into details on the edit. But as far as time, I think absolutely I'm going to have to probably go back and maybe refine the process to make it seem a little bit more authentic and to the point, and call out some of the more specific details. Yeah, but I got 16 minutes. I got to end this somehow. So that they can then process and talk it through. And what are they going to be talking about? I think Vicky's going to say something like, what about the Junior National Championship? And I think I'm going to try to use a little bit of slang, like, you're going to be ready. And then Dustin only nodded. Now, to be able to summarize this and get done with the story, we at least have a final conflict. There's still the tension of what they're going to go. And I guess I'm hoping this, in this part at least, that's the part I'm a little bit more trying to find the detail on, is that if we have some sort of champion where they think they're great and they want to go to the next level, and maybe just showing like what it's like to go to that next level. I'm not sure what sort of conflict I'm trying to resolve in this story right now, and that's my main hang up. Like the junior champion, blah de blah. Life is a squeeze box because the devil's going to get you. And Vicky says, only if you drop a clip. Dustin only picks up the casings. While they reload the casings in the general sense of it, slang a little bit, to be edited and add more detail next time, absolutely. Vicky says, you're going to be ready, and Dustin only nods. And I can at least write into the fact they're trying this next competition. Maybe I gotta call that out. Do they win though? I don't think so. I think they get squoze. And that's the difficult part of trying to like create this thing. Does it even work? Maybe. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. So that's the one thing I think I'm failing at mostly. Like the details on the casing, I absolutely agree. That's a great critique, and I think a good follow-up on this. But I don't think I have the description of this field done justice to make it. And that's where it's failing for me right now, as well as also just like, what's the resolution of this story? What's the conflict? It's supposed to have some resolution. They're trying to go to the next level, and like it gets set up beforehand. But you'd be expected to lose unless you're egotistical. Maybe they stop shooting. Like, what's the ultimate? And why can't I shoot down at an angle? Like, there's moments where I hit this button and the mechanics, whatever, will let me shoot up some weird... Like, and it's the joystick. Like, what? I don't even know. Like, that's the inspiration. That's trying to, I can't explain that wall. That's where I'm getting hung up. Like, I think a lot of being able to be specific about a process right now is just figuring out how to end this story. Yeah. Now, if there's any suggestions for that, then they're dead. So Dustin smiles while chewing some steak in his favorite squeeze box shooter. The following week, Vicky mortgaged in the house, out loading out loud. Vicky rolls out. I don't know. What time is it? I got 11 minutes. You gonna win? You ready? Dustin nodded. I gotta have some. This is not even a good ending, but it's got to be an ending. 11 minutes. So the day of what's the name of this one? So it was the regional. Is it gonna be regional? No, it'd be state. It'd be a much lower level. It'd be like city. The day of the city squeeze box. And it'd be so much more like tryouts. It'd still be tournament. Instead of regional, where they won beforehand, or state, it's just going to be city. So that's going to show how much less this actual game and contest is. So the day of the squeeze box, champion, and they're going to fail at the first one. I still don't understand how this actually resolves the story, but it's going to end it some way. It feels like one of those meta stories, unfortunately, like squeeze box. Maybe the pressure from the mom, and that's what I could add into it, like some sort of metaphor. Only nodding, feeling the pressure. Oh, that's what I could do it. I could have it like the overbearing parent that pressures their child into being able to have to do this. So while they reload the casings, he says, "You're going to be ready. We got a lot. We got a lot riding on you." And this is the squeeze box. We got to make payments for this stuff. So you got to earn. Dustin. So this is the pressure now. So this is what I can do with the resolution. And that would turn around the metaphor for the squeeze box title of the game. And also the game itself that they are trying to train to be able to do. And so now Dustin, as a teen, is going in for the first competition. Only nodded, feeling the pressure. I don't know how to spell pressure right now. To succeed. Dustin only nodded, feeling the pressure to succeed. And the pain in his thumb from his index, his trigger finger. That might work. I don't know where this is going. Oh, let's go here. So Dustin only nodded, feeling the pressure to succeed and the pain of his trigger finger. You gonna be ready? Dustin nodded. The day of the Squeezebox Championship, first round. And Dustin strapped into the stripe, red and white striped. I gotta push words. Red and white striped bulletproof suit. They sat in the center of the squeeze. They stood in the center of the squeeze box. You can make this like some sort of example of potential over parenting and pushing of parental processes. The day of the squeeze box champion, the first round, Dustin strapped the red, white striped bulletproof suit on. They stood at the center. There's that words are missing. Jeez, come on, 6 minutes left. Stood in the center of the squeeze box, the playing field. They felt their mom's shouts of, "Go Dustin!" cash in, way increase the debt, emotional debt, way paying on Dustin's mind. The Squeezebox song starts from the speakers like an old accordion, like a circus tune. The squeeze starts from the speaker, this like a circus tune. The 12 sectional walls slide. Dustin shoots and shoots. This is going to be scribbles at the end. Walls jerk back. Walls slide forward. The ring of points on the scoreboard excite Dustin. The points exceed. Succeed or exceed? Exceed. Then the hand slips. And it's going to jam. Then the hand slips. The gun jams. Not holding it. The wrist jerks. Letting the gun jam. The walls close in. Vicky shouts, "Just shoot Dustin." Maybe I could do something like just shoot Dustin, like Vicky shouts, squeezes. As the walls squeeze. Yeah, I got time. Oh yeah, I don't even know. That's time though. I got 3 minutes left, and let's read this aloud. I have no idea what this story is going here. Okay. I'm going to at least have some sights and sounds while I read this, maybe. I see when this thing goes into sleep mode. There we go. We'll have the squeeze box going. Well, all right. So it's been time. It's been overtime. Qbert didn't work, and that left us with squeeze box and trying to create a story from it. I went more of the realistic route, trying to take the inspiration of the sights and sound of this game to be more real life, and outside of the game and frame of video games. I don't know if it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's coming off as junk, but that's fine. It can all be edited, and there's been some great comments today too, I see, as this process goes. It looks like Clay's got some good ones for follow-up edits. But for today, given time constraints, edits are going to have to wait until another time. This particular story may end up, of course, into the next book if it's about sports. And if it turns out not to be total, well, poo. Until that's decided, until the edits happen to make this a more perfect story and be consumable by more people other than, well, nobody other than myself. Let's go ahead and read this out loud. This story is called Squeezebox. Dustin won the Junior National Pistol Shooter Medal and placed second in the open bracket long-range rifle shot. Over that night's victory dinner at Beefsteak Potato Diner, Vicky pointed at Dustin. We should build us a squeeze box, teach you to shoot, maybe get you go pro. Last squeeze box champion got sponsored for life. Can he even afford bullets? Dustin smiles while chewing some steak and quoting his favorite squeeze shooter, Vance Lee. Life is a squeeze box because the devil's going to get you. That's right, Vicky chews. We'll build it. We'll get you the costume. The following week, Vicky mortgaged the house to the bank to take out a loan to buy an official red and white striped bulletproof bodysuit as required by the Pro Shooter Committee, the PSC, for any junior shooting events. They bought a clip-loading semi-automatic .22, Pro Shooter Committee approved, the caliber allowed for junior level competition. The majority of the loan paid for the home squeeze box. How are we going to build a squeeze box? Said Dustin. Vicky rolled out the schematics for a squeeze box. Her finger draws over the rectangle room and the pairs of 6 sliding walls. Here are the 12 crush walls. I got rollers on the hydraulics. We'll push these in pairs of 6 at different times, like sectional wall, until the 6 pairs slide and connect, squeeze. You understand? Dustin shrugs. Kind of. During the winter, they built a shed out back, big enough for a car and long enough for the built pro squeeze box walls. The squeeze box walls slide sideways, creating a wall with its width and the width of the other walls. The opposing squeeze box walls slide walls 12 at different times toward the center of the room where the shooter stands shooting. Each sliding wall recoils away from the shooter in the center when shot, with the force of a .22 bullet, according to PSC standards. By spring, Dustin shoots and stands in the center of the squeeze box and dresses in a bulletproof bodysuit, wearing a belt of loaded clips to shoot. The sling... By spring, Dustin stands in the center of the squeeze box, dressed in a bulletproof bodysuit, wearing a belt of loaded clips to shoot the sliding sections of the wall. Man, this is bad. I don't think it's not been this difficult to get to a story before. It's called struggling with specifics and not getting caught up on at least trying to flow through it. Might try to read this again, but I need to fix some of these things. I can only read over so many mistakes in life before I get caught up in the edits that I need to do. Slides and this wall description. The 6-section slide. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to continue reading and call it how this thing's going to be read today. By spring, Dustin stood in the center of the squeeze box, dressed in a bulletproof bodysuit, wearing a belt of loaded clips to shoot the sliding sections of the walls trying to squeeze him. The 6 sections slide at Dustin from the front and back. As Dustin shoots the walls, a shot hits, the section slides back and starts to slide at Dustin again. Back to front, the 2 sides of the sliding sections of walls near Dustin. Dustin fires, drops the clips, and squeezes. Sucks. Dustin says, life is a squeeze box because the devil's going to get you. And Vicky says, only if you drop a clip. Yeah, I went too far. Dustin picks up the casing. While Dustin, I don't even know. This is horrid. Dustin only picks up the casings. While they reload the casings, Vicky says, "You going to be ready? We got a lot riding on you. We got payments, so you got to earn, Dustin." Dustin only nods, feeling the pressure to succeed and the pain in his trigger finger. "You going to be ready?" Dustin nodded. The day of the Squeezebox Championship, first round, Dustin strapped in the red and white striped bulletproof suit. They stood in the center of the playing field. They felt their mom shout, "Go, Dustin!" increasing the emotional debt paying on Dustin's soul. The Squeezebox starts from the Squeezebox song starts from the speaker like a circus tune. There's 12 sectional walls slide. Dustin shoots, walls jerk back, walls slide forward. The ring of points on the scoreboard excites Dustin. Then the hand slips, the wrist jerks, letting the gun jerk jam. The walls close in. Vicky shouts, squeezes. Just shoot, Dustin, and the walls squeeze Dustin too. That sucks. I can't remember the last time I had that much trouble reading through a story. I went too weird. And I had to try to explain way too many things, like what a squeeze box is. Trying to find the balance of trying to brush over gunfire versus other things. Wow. Well, you know what? They always don't always work out. Not every day is a Pango day, or some day where I can actually do something abstract and make it work. Failure. Well, welcome to life. But we're going to commit this story all the same, and I'm going to add, after the fact, all these lovely comments, every participation along the way, to add to the edits of this story that maybe something's of it. I like it. I like the premise of it. Squeeze box. There we go, squeeze box. I shall edit this file many times before it's published. And that was Video Game Flash Fiction for the day. The time has been up. The game is still on. Let's turn this game off. Let's unplug this game from the console. And let's put in the slush pile of maybe future stories, maybe not. Again, remember, creation doesn't always, rarely, if ever, is perfect. The first attempt of creating it.